Manchester United started Project Restart in explosive form, becoming the first team in Premier League history to win 4 consecutive matches by a 3-goal margin. Manchester United's front three, with Fernandes in behind providing the bullets, was ripping teams to shreds. But in the second half of Project Restart, the tactical deficiencies in the United setup were starting to be highlighted and exploited. Firstly, Southampton highlighted United's inability to handle a high press. This was further emphasised against West Ham and Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final. But the biggest deficiency that came to light during Project Restart was the inability of United's fullbacks to impact the game going forward. In the games against West Ham and Leicester, they let United's fullbacks have the ball in the attacking half, knowing they couldn't do anything with it, and defended narrow, tucking their fullbacks in, compacting the central areas, which was crowding out Pogba, Fernandes, and United's front three. The result of this was United's attacking potency being neutralised. To put this deficiency into full context, I will compare Shaw's heat map against Robertson's and Wan-Bissaka's against Alexander-Arnold's. Shaw versus Robertson. The area which demonstrates Shaw's ineptitude in attack and Robertson's dominance is the area in line with the edge of the box and the byline. When wide men are in these areas, they are in behind the defensive line. Defenders and midfield players are moving back towards their own goal, and this is when attacking players lose their markers, giving wide men someone to pick out. The deep red colour shows how much time Robertson spends in these areas, stretching the defensive line and supplying crosses from areas which make it more difficult for defenders to deal with. On the flip side, Shaw spends hardly any time in these areas. It highlights exactly what United fans see every game. He plays in front of teams. He never makes runs in behind or takes a full-back on to get a crossing. The heat map shows that he rarely goes beyond that imaginary line across the pitch, 18 yards from goal. When he gets to that line, he plays square balls in field or carries the ball in field. The amount of time you see Shaw in this area, with grass in behind, and not attack the space is incredible. Looking at the stats between the two players, last season Shaw had 0 assists, averaged 1.6 crosses per game with 0.4 accurate crosses per game, 0 attacking threat. Robertson had 12 assists, averaged 5.5 crosses per game with 1.1 accurate crosses per game. Now looking at Wan-Bissaka versus Alexander-Arnold. The same area, in line with the edge of the box and the byline, the heat map shows that Wan-Bissaka is actually comparable with Alexander-Arnold in getting into this area. The huge difference between the two players is Alexander's superior quality on the ball. Like Shaw, we see Wan-Bissaka playing too many square balls in fields, and when he does decide to cross the ball, the quality is badly lacking. Looking at last season's Premier League stats between the two players, Wan-Bissaka had 4 assists, averaged 2.8 crosses per game and 0.4 accurate crosses per game. Alexander had 13 assists, averaged 10.5 crosses per game with 2.2 accurate crosses per game. What compounds this deficiency further is that United play with inverted wingers and only have one out-and-out winger at the club in Dan James. We seriously lack the ability to penetrate out wide. The disappointing thing about this situation is Ollie's appalling assessment of this deficiency. We need attacking fullbacks more than Sancho. And to see Thomas Meunier move to Dortmund for free and Hakimi move to Inter Milan for only 36 million, United once again are on their heels and seeing value for money drift away. Reguilon would be a good addition at left back, but looks set for another low move to Sevilla. A great alternative would be Theo Fernandes of AC Milan, and with Milan in need of cash and Diego Laxalt on their books, a deal could potentially be done here. An option at right back could be Lucas Klostermann of RB Leipzig, or an outside bet in the ever-improving Connor Roberts of Swansea. Despite their attacking deficiencies, there is still a place for Shaw because of his experience, and he is a decent defender, and in particular Wan-Bissaka because he is one of the best defenders in the league. Wan-Bissaka would be one of the first names on the team sheet away to Liverpool and Manchester City, but we need those attacking options at full back to stretch defensive formations. The Devils' verdict is, If we don't sign attacking fullbacks to stretch the defensive line, teams will continue to defend narrow against United, which will stifle our ball players in midfield and inverted attack. Let me know in the comments below what you think of my analysis and what you think should happen in this area. As always, please like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you in the next video.